Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I'm going to talk about something I have been noticing lately, and it's about doing the shopping that's delivered, or of any kind, whether it's a restaurant or grocery store or any kind of store that is delivered. And I've been seeing videos recently. I don't know the names of the channels, and I don't give shout-outs anyway. That have basically been complaining about the customers who don't tip. Okay. Now, I have been doing the online, online shopping and delivery and all that for since 2018 or 2019. I did it off and on, and then in 2020 I started doing it on a regular basis. And I've used different services, and I've had some good experience, but I've had some really rotten ones too. I mean, really rotten ones. Like one wanted us to pay for our service because they didn't have the address right, and they wanted us to pay. It was like $48 or something, and they wanted us to pay for it without getting our product. It was a meal, and we got the meal and we ate it. We heated it up, of course. And we both got food poisoning. Okay, that kind of thing. Yeah. But what I've been seeing lately is this about the, people not giving a tip. Okay, let me explain a few things from my perspective. And I'm not saying this is what it is for everybody. Some people may be cheap and they're not giving a tip. And from what I understand is let me start here. When these shoppers, some of them call themselves shoppers and some are gig workers. They do it for more than one. But they're the shoppers. They're the people who, some of them, they actually go out and do the shopping, and I'm pretty certain some of them, they just go pick it up. Now, how is the customer supposed to know the difference? There's one. Okay, there's just one. The customers might not know. But I'm going to tell my perspective is when I first started with these things, I don't read everything that they have in it. Do you? But anyway, I don't think that it says on any of them that the people who are delivering in some of them don't work for that store or that whatever. Okay, that's important. Okay. But here's how it goes. You pay whatever kind of fee, whatever, the way you subscribe to it, whether it's yearly or monthly, per delivery, whatever it is, and you pay a fee. Now, I only know of one of them that has waived that fee. They've done, other ones have done it like off and on. But anyway, you pay this fee. There's one fee. Now, on one of them, I know there is another fee on top of it. And from what I understand, that is from what I'm getting, I don't even know what they call it, but it helps to pay that person who's delivering. Okay. Plus, we pay higher for our merchandise through that, which I would think also helps pay their fee. And then they slap on a tip, which is often pretty high, is what they will put on there for a tip. Now, first of all, think about that, and also think about why would we actually put in we're going to pay a tip when we haven't had the service completed yet. You go to a restaurant, do you pay the tip before you even get your meal? Okay, whenever anything there's ever been a tip involved, it's at the end of the service. And you tip according to what kind of service you received. Seriously. Okay. But let's go back through all this. How's the customer supposed to know you don't work for that store? Let's just say it's a store, a grocery store. And they're not only getting a monthly fee. They are, okay. But they're monthly or however the person pays. But they're getting this extra fee on top of it, and then they want a tip, and we're also paying more. Look at it from the customer's perspective. It might be, I mean, we don't know we don't know. Now remember, we don't know that you don't work for them. Because they're not telling us that you're independent contractors or whatever you call yourselves. We don't know that. We just think the store's trying to get us with, we might, some of them, might think the store's trying to get fee after fee after fee after fee. Okay? So don't go blaming the customer. Don't triangulate the customer with the beef you have with the store or the service that, the service that provides you a job. They need to be telling people this in some other way. But still, there's a fee on a fee on a fee. Why aren't they paying you hourly? Okay, you want to make more by getting tips. That's your thing. That's not our thing. And like I said, this of tipping somebody before they do the job, no. I do it. I do now. Because I've seen very lousy service if I didn't. That's not right. People can go back behind there and give a bad rating, and they can give take that tip back away. This sense of entitlement it really bothers me. That, you're entitled to a good tip before you even do a job. And that you can go and complain about a customer that doesn't know all of this. Why would the customer know all of this? Again, don't take out on the customer what is not their fault at all, to blame them. Now, I don't know about you, but never in my life before all this have I ever heard a delivery service asking for a tip. I don't tip my mail person every day. I don't tip, any of the other ones, that something that goes through the mail or something that's delivered, a package. I'm not talking about I'm talking about like a friend sent me something and I'm going to tip the person who delivers it. So people might not have it in their minds that they need to tip you. But to put the customer down as the customer's just cheap or just not the right personality, just doesn't do the right thing, that's wrong. That's a sense of entitlement. That's an inability to look beyond your own nose and your own pocketbook. In my opinion. I could be wrong. But no, in my opinion, if that's how you want to see it, it's wrong. You might have other reasons. And there are some people, if they order something and that service gives that kind of service, allows them to order something under $10, and you're wanting a $10 tip on top of it, plus they're already paying a monthly fee or whatever they're doing, like I said, and that extra little thing, if you take it, don't complain. I mean, really, the nerve of blaming the customer for these things. Trying to triangulate the customer into your problem, your argument with whatever it is. And have somebody to put it on. The customer, to me, if I'm ordering from some place, I'm already paying to have something. To buy something from them, I'm paying them. I'm giving them money. I am giving them money. So I want to give money after money after money after money. Okay? Not only paying for the items in the store, which, like I said, you pay more from some of these. Okay, we're buying from the store. Then we're paying that monthly or whatever fee. Then we're paying that other little tax or whatever. Not tax, whatever it is. And then they want a tip. All from just trying to get something at a store. I do tip. And if I have had some really terrible services, like we're diabetic, and we order things that are diet, sugar-free, and they'll bring stuff that replace it with stuff that's sugar and not tell us that they did. Okay? Not tell us that they did. Do you think I should tip that person? Do you really? Would you expect to be tipped for that? Because there are some people older than I, some people who are elderly, they might not know the difference. Okay, that they're getting, they're diabetic and they're getting just pure sugar practically. Should they tip them? But that sense of entitlement on top of it. Now, I do understand working, how it is. I've been, they call them waitresses back then. I understand it. But I don't expect them to put my tip on the table when I come up to order their to get their order. And if I don't do a good job, I don't expect them to tip me. I mean, I have had some of them. We order to where they leave it on the front door, and because of what's been going on, and I've had some want me to come out and to go through all my bags, and he wasn't wearing a mask, and this is Texas, and it's mandatory, and he wanted me to come out and look at all of them. Crap! You think I'm going to give him a tip? And like I said, we don't know that some of these people don't work for that place. We don't know who's actually out there doing the shopping either. Is it an employee of the store? Or is it somebody else? We don't know this automatically. I would not have known the details until I started watching these gig workers, as some of them call them themselves. We weren't told. I wasn't told. And it's different for different places, too. Some of them, they do the shopping. They actually go in the store and do the shopping. And then in others, they don't. And some of them do the shopping and they pay for it. And like the one place finally told me, they said, we don't know that they're doing it. We don't know them. We don't know who they are. Why would we, the customer, know? Why would we know that? Really? Okay. Now I have a channel that I basically do videos about toxic people. And one thing, some call, some could just pile them under narcissistic. But there is this of being, having, like I said, a high sense of entitlement. And people are entitled to that. Think about all that I have said. Do you still feel so entitled? Really? How would the customer know? So then saying that these customers are just cheap, or giving yourself as an example, I would never do that. Well, maybe it's because you are a gig worker and you already know the score. Does the customer know the score? I think some people need to apologize to those of us who are actually buying through that service, paying a little extra. Where do you think that money comes from? You think it's from the service? I don't know. How would I know? Do you? But I do know that I pay more going through those services, one of them, than I would in the store. On some things, oh yes, I know that. I've asked them why, and I was told because I ordered through that service. Now, having said all that, I feel for you, for people who are doing this, or people who have to do this. They got to pay. They got to eat. Some with kids, some not with kids. And I really appreciate that there is this service out there. I do not feel entitled to this service. I pay for the service. I don't feel entitled. Some people live in areas that they don't have this kind of service. I am grateful to the people who are doing this. There is that. I am. But to have somebody say, if somebody doesn't tip, then they're cheap, they're wrong, they're whatever, they don't think right. Like I say, I do tip. If they don't screw up. Totally. I adjust my tip. But usually I do the tip that they put on there, which is not the least one. But the nerve of people, not everybody, not all of them do it, and this is not all on any of it, but the nerve of somebody saying that you must tip or something is wrong with you. Wow, turn it around. You must do a good job or we're not going to tip you. And could it be that the other ones just automatically put a tip in, like me, and then don't go back and take it off because you might not be doing a good service? Ooh, see? Now, how do you feel when somebody like the customer says something negative about you? But it's okay if you say something negative about the customer, right? No. I'm really not worked up about this as it sounds. I'm using that voice on purpose. But I do think people need to stop for a moment before you get all arrogant, all entitled, and think. What are you saying? If you have an issue with the place you work for, discuss it with them. What, are you afraid you're going to lose your job? So then you need somebody to take it out on. So you're going to take it out on the person who's paying for it all. Not smart. Really? Oh my goodness. That's my rant for this day. Maybe there might be more. But no, after seeing more than one person say this kind of thing, oh my goodness. Really, connect, brain, connect, okay. If it weren't for the customer, would you have a job? The customers, would you have a job? If your service that you're working for isn't treating you right, don't blame it on the customer. They're not putting the word out that you don't work for them. The customer doesn't know that. So why would the customer be at fault when the customer is paying for the product at a higher price, paying for the service for whatever membership fee, paying that extra little thing, and then they want a tip? I mean, seriously. Some of my orders come up to where all this stuff that I'm paying for is like $30-40. You ask some waitresses, do they make that much money when they serve a whole family or something, or a big group? Some of them don't. The percentage that I have seen that they're paying these delivery services, is higher than what people earn. They have to get in their car and drive. I understand. You have to drive. You have wear and tear on your car. You have gas and all this stuff you have to pay for. Talk it over with the company you work for. If they're not paying you right on that, that's between you and them, not you and the customer. The customer shouldn't have to be paying for that. The people who you work for should. The customer's already paying all these. What, do you want the customer to be responsible for everything? They pay your rent or something like that? I'm serious. I'm really not worked up, but just thinking about the nerve of some people to say the things that they do, that the customer needs to think about these people who do these, they have wear and tear on their car. No, your boss does. It needs to make it worth your while. Not charge the customer, but we are already paying enough. Apologies. Yeah, customers need apologies for people who say things like that. Really now. The nerve. Okay, before I really do get real worked up, enough on this for now.